Welcome to the Not All There podcast. I am Chad. I'm your host. It's me right now for 30 minutes. Buckle up. Hang on. It's going to be a good one. They always are, baby. They always are. The more times you listen to them, I'm like a Coen Brothers movie. The more times you watch that movie, the more things you pick up. All right? That's why I've watched Lebowski like 50 times. That movie's so dense. Anyway, I'm going to talk about a topic that a friend of mine, Jeff, shout out Jeff. I don't know why you haven't been on the show yet, man. I'm calling you out. They hear me. They're going to want to hear you now. Okay. I reached out to my group of friends, my pals, my sober buddies, and was like, hey, is there anything that you guys want me to talk about? You know, I throw something my way. And Jeff gave me a good one. The topic is imposter syndrome. Now, you may think like, well, what the fuck is that? Sounds like a bad like 70s B movie, like a, meltdown at 3 Mile Island or whatever, but it's not a real diagnosis, okay? However, it's certainly a characteristic of a lot of people, me included. I mean, big time with me, and a lot of people that are in my personal sober community feel this way. And I know others that aren't in a recovery of any kind. They feel it too. They just probably don't know what it is they're feeling exactly. They feel something, and maybe they feel as if they're like defective, right? Like I don't belong here. And I jotted some notes down, as I often refer to my notes. You can hear them. I rarely use them, but I have them in case I need to. And imposter syndrome, you're like, I don't know what that is. This guy's getting out there, man. He is out there in the cornfield right now. Imposter syndrome. Well, try this on for size. You ever feel that you don't deserve what you have? That you're not worthy of anything? And if you're my age, you probably are doing the Wayne's World right now. Perfectionism. Fear of success. That is a big one for me. Comparing yourself to others. There is a saying that my dear friend Missy brought up a few episodes back. It really resonated with me, and I'm stealing it, Missy. I am taking it. It's mine now, but you can have it when you need it. The saying is, do you ever compare your what? Oh God, now, Missy, I'm so sorry. I wrote it down. Don't compare other people's outsides to your insides. And boy, howdy, am I guilty of that. Comparing myself to others. Not feeling not worthy of, I guess, what I have. Friends, family, anything that I have, I'm not worthy of it. A big one for me is like, oh my God, they're going to find out that I'm a fraud. That I am not who I say I am. And they're going to find that out, and they're going to call me on it, and I'm fucked. And I'm not talking about a job, man. I'm just talking about being me. So many days I have struggled with that. That, oh my God, I'm doing this thing. I'm doing this job. I'm a fraud. I studied improv in the city at Second City, the Second City. I was up on stage doing improv, and I was having fun. And afterwards, people were like, wow, man, you really, like, you were having fun. You seemed like you were really like, where you belonged. And the entire time I was up there, I was like, fuck, man, these people know that I have no fucking clue what I'm doing right now. They know. They paid money and they're pissed because that guy up there with the glasses and the beard is a fucking fraud. Meanwhile, people are laughing and having fun, and afterwards they're like, wow, that's pretty funny, man. I'm proud of you. You really kind of held your own up there. And when they're saying that, I'm thinking to myself, me? No, it must have been the other guy. It wasn't this guy. Fuck, man. No way. I can't. Oh, my God. Let me ask you a question, listener. How do you take compliments? Can you? Do you have your canned answer? Oh, thanks. Or this old thing? Or, oh, do you really? You think so? I mean, is it really that hard to say, oh, wow, thank you? And like, mean it? Somebody pays you a compliment and you're like, you blow it off because you're like, me? I'm not. No, that is not true about me. No fucking way. I don't know who you're talking to. And honestly, I'm going to treat you like shit now because I think you're fucking with me. I think you're lying to me. Really? Does that sound familiar, anybody? Maybe. Perfectionism. Newsflash, y'all. Perfection. It don't exist. You can stop looking for it. Stop reading for it. It's not there. And the more you search for it, the more you seek it, the more harm you're doing to yourself. All right? And people like blemishes. People like messy things. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? You're not going to win somebody over if what you're doing actually is perfect. No, it's not going to happen. Because perfectionism carries the expectation with it, and expectations lead to, what is it, everybody? All together now. Resentment. You're not worthy. Does that sound familiar? You want to do something nice for yourself, okay? But you talk yourself out of it, right? Because, no, I don't need that. When you know whatever that is will give you some joy. I don't know. Maybe it is buying a coffee, getting a book, buying a shirt that you like. God, my chair is extra squeaky tonight. Sorry about that. I'm getting a little fired up here. You are worthy. You are. If it's something that brings you joy, you should give it a shot. Within reason, okay? Within reason, of course. But you're always worthy. You're worthy of the smile that a stranger gives you when they pass you on the street. Me, have a resentment toward those people on the street who I smile to or wave to or say hello, good morning to, and they don't respond to me. And they're certainly not wearing headphones or pods. They can fucking hear me. All I have to say to them is, I'm sorry. I expected that from you. However, saying that, stranger, you're worthy of it. Okay? You're worthy of a little kindness. You're worthy. All right? You're not defective. You're not broken. You are tough. You are strong. You are resilient. And you're worth it. Fear of success. Hello. Fear of success has stopped me from doing all kinds of things in my life. Pursuing things that I have wanted to pursue because what if it worked? You know, what would you do? For example, in the moment I'm living right now, I'm doing this podcast. Now, I have had office job after office job after office job because I thought that that's what you needed to do, right? Well, you do have to provide. You gotta make some money to be able to take care of yourself and your loved ones. You have to. All right. So, gotta do that. Outside of that, however, if there's something that you want to do, you should go for it. Me, I've always wanted to be in performance, but I never went after it. There were some, how shall we say, circumstances along the way where that motivation was taken from me, okay, at a young age. And I was too afraid to get back to it. And I've fiddled around with stuff along the way. Here's a fun fact. I was on a game show like 21 years ago. I was on an episode of Wheel of Fortune. That's right. I flew to New York City. I was in Manhattan. I filmed an episode of Wheel of Fortune at Radio City Music Hall, home of the Rockettes. And it was NBA Players Week. And for my fellow Blazer fans, I got to play Wheel of Fortune with none other than Blazer legend Bill Walton. That's right. And if you know who Bill Walton is, and if you've seen him on TV or heard him talk, I am here to tell you what you see is what you get. That guy. Wow. And crushed it. Had a fun time, man. Had a really good time. I've done like infomercial. I've just done random shit. I did here in Chicago. I did improv down at the Second City, which is world class. A lot of SNL people have come out of there. Bill Murray, Harold Ramis. I mean, those are like the early people, but Tina Fey. So many people have come out of there. So it's this institution, and I went there and studied, and it was a blast. I had a blast. Really found my people. I tried stand-up. Really good at being up in front of people and talking to people. However, I can't write a joke to save my fucking life. So you can't write jokes. You don't really have much to stand up there and try to make people laugh. Got the buzz, got the high. I can stand up in front of a crowd of people and not break a sweat unless it's like really hot out there. Doesn't bother me. Does not bother me at all. But as soon as I'm done doing that, and people come to to congratulate me or say something kind about what I did, to pay me a compliment for what I just did, I can't handle it. I can't fucking handle it. Because even though I know what I was doing is what I was supposed to be doing in the moment, like I was doing it and doing it well and just doing my thing, doing what comes naturally to me. And then I get compliments about it, and I don't know what to do. I'm not worthy of it. No, that's not me. What you're saying is you're just saying that to be polite. And then, the person that paid you the compliments, like, what an asshole. Yeah. It's this guy right here. Comparing yourself to others. I mean, keeping up with the Joneses, baby, right? Isn't that the saying? Something like that. What I mean by that is just comparing yourself to those around you, people in your past, family members, neighbors, peers, colleagues, just by sheer appearance and projection, you compare yourself to this other person just because of the way they dress, the things they tell you, and you have no idea what's going on in their world. All you know is what they're projecting out into it. Okay? Don't compare yourself to what you see, man. Just be you. Be you. It's ingrained in us, though, in our society to achieve a certain image. If you don't meet that image, you're not worthy. You're no good. And it's tragic. It's fucking tragic because there are so many awesome people out there. You listening are awesome. You are worthy. Do not compare yourself to the person that's sitting next to you at the stoplight. So he's driving a Maserati. He's probably fucking bankrupt, but he's got a Maserati. Come on, people. Let's treat ourselves nicely. No more pretending that we are somebody that we're not. Okay? You're not an imposter, man. You are not. I know that feeling of not fitting in. Feeling like you don't fit in. And I don't mean at a party. I mean like in your own skin. Right? Just, it feels weird. Like, what the fuck? Why am I feeling this way? I can't explain why. Well, actually, I could. But I am not going to bore you with my diagnosis. Nice diagnoses. Whatever. I'm a bright guy. Sometimes I misspeak. What are you going to do? I guess I could edit it, but I'm not going to because I'm not perfect, people. And my podcast doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to sound pretty good. All right. I like it to sound well. But, again, it doesn't have to be perfect. But the fear of success, what is this I wrote on the bottom here? Oh. Be open about your fears. Now I gotta think. Be open about your fears. Okay, well, hey, I guess that's what I'm doing here. It's cool, man, to be open with yourself and with those close to you about what you're afraid of. And I don't mean like ghosts or Pinhead or, God, Pinhead, man. I saw that at a young age. Anyway, Hellraiser, whatever. But to be open about what you're afraid of, like, I am afraid that if I do well on this test, I'm going to advance to the next level of math. And I'm afraid that when I get to that next level of math, they're going to find out what a fucking fraud I am when it comes to math, that I don't know shit about it. I must have got lucky on the test. You don't belong here. But, talking to somebody about that and just being like, that's what I'm afraid of. But one, it's incredibly brave of you to be able to do that. It really is. Because that's a very vulnerable and intimate thing to express to somebody about yourself, is that I'm afraid that if I advance, that they're going to think that I don't belong and that I'm a fraud. Therefore, I'm going to bomb the test because I don't want to know what that feels like when they figure me out. Sound familiar? That's what this guy does. Self-sabotage. Oh, yeah. You don't want to know what those roses smell like on the other side? Well, I do, but I'm afraid once they see me there, they're not going to let me smell the roses. And nothing is farther from the truth. And I have to remind myself of that a lot. That, one, it's okay to be afraid. It's all right. I mean, shit, we're human beings. We basically operate our day-to-day out of fear. We got to get to work faster because we're afraid we're going to be late. I got to pay my bills on time, or I'm afraid it's going to ding my credit. That just gave me pause. This, being open about these things. It's so funny how I can sit here in this very uncomfortable chair in a basement, a pretty cool room, by the way, alone, and speak into this microphone. I can hear myself in these headphones, and I can talk all about these things, right? My fears, or the fact that I have them, and that these fears, whatever they might be, have prevented me and still prevent me from feeling happiness, right? Feeling the joy of a success, right? Feeling the joy and pride of doing something that you want to do, and just simply fucking doing it. But you get me, you put me in those situations, like I'm sitting here telling you what to do, what I think might work for you, and I get in my situations and I fucking implode. Still. Gotta remind myself that I belong. No matter what they say. And they say those things to you because they probably are just afraid as you are. Right? And what I mean by the things that they say is they might say shitty things to you because they're afraid. Right? Does that sound familiar? I mean, I see it with kids all the time. They get afraid to do something that sports, baseball, trying to get someone to just simply throw the ball to first base. It does not matter if it gets there in the air or on the ground or 20 feet to the left of the first baseman. Doesn't matter. Just throw it. I can't throw it because it's not going to look good. I don't care how it looks. We're not out here, to look great. We just want you to throw the ball, man. Everybody, throw the damn ball. Where's it gonna go? Doesn't matter. Just throw the fucking thing. I sometimes have problems throwing that ball. Do you? We belong, everybody. We are, at this very moment, right where we need to be. We need to be grateful that we are where we are, that you belong, and that you're good, and that you're worthy of love and worthy of happiness. And if you're afraid that you're not going to find those things, I can assure you that you never will. You'll keep looking. We'll get all the material things, thinking that that's what we need. I'm guilty of that. I have been my whole life. And then you get that thing and you realize, wow, that didn't really do what I thought it was going to do. And you can get all the toys, but it's not going to do it. You got to find that in yourself. So when you walk into that room, when you talk to that person, you can feel good that you belong there because you're worth it. You're worth all of it. Don't be afraid to let yourself feel it. And while we're at it, let those feelings, let them feel, baby. Let them feel. Be grateful that you can feel. Be grateful that they're there. Be grateful that they're trying to tell you something. Those feelings are there to tell you something. And it's okay to express those feelings. That's why I'm like such an advocate for talk therapy. Helps you work through the imposter syndrome aspect of things. You can talk to somebody who doesn't, they care for you, but what the hell, you're one in how many? But my point being is they listen to you and they hear you, and they could just simply say, hey, you know what? No. Let's not talk that way. Let's not talk that way about ourselves. Let me break a few things down for you about you that you have to recognize and you have to own. And own something about yourself. Just own something about yourself, whatever it might be. I don't know. You know all the lyrics to every Taylor Swift song. That's your thing. Awesome. Own that. Fucking own it. I've read all the Danielle Steele books because I love them and I think she's a fabulous writer. Awesome. Fucking own it. You belong. And I've started to do that around people. Just bringing up something is whatever out of the blue about myself. And one, it empowers me, be like, yeah, that's something about me. Yep. Don't be afraid to express it. Okay. And oftentimes people are like, wow, what? And that, just getting that little bit of energy back from them made me feel like I am not a fucking imposter. I belong. And I have something to offer. We all have something to offer. Don't prevent yourself from offering all your goodness to the rest of us. Put it out there. Okay? Not everybody's going to like it. Okay? But don't stop doing it. You are not an imposter. You belong. You belong. All right. Wow. What a day. Hey, all right. Going back to the Wheel of Fortune thing, somewhere I have a link to the episode. I have it saved, and I will get that out there for your enjoyment. It's going to be a beauty. I'll get it up on the website as soon as I can. NotAllTherePod.com. NotAllTherePod.com. If you have suggestions for me on something you want me to ramble on about that you think might be entertaining or helpful, or I don't know, hell, something maybe you want to know about me, go ahead and ask. You can send those to my email address, which is notalltherepod@gmail.com. Notalltherepod@gmail.com. You're worthy, okay? You're awesome. Love yourself because you are you. You're you, and you are all you have. You belong, okay? All right, now be kind and loving to everybody. Be kind and loving to yourself. Give yourself a big old hug because you deserve it. All right? I'm going to take off. I'm going to go stare at the wall. All right, guys. Take care. Talk to you later.